Folks, looks like that's working. Maybe we'll play some music. Let's see here. You can see our little friendo down there. Oh, cute cat doing the thing. We're gonna be working on fixing. Oh hey, there's another one. We're gonna be working on fixing a few things. I may change the text bubble for now to just be a rounded square. But yeah. I don't. Did I say World of Warcraft? I thought I just said gaming. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. We'll let it go with what it's going with. But you can see there that the cat's talking, going through his dialogue, that sort of stuff. Maybe it's too slow. Who knows? We'll see. My go-to is usually Ridge Racer. Maybe that's still what we'll do. Oh, no, you know what we'll do? I had a revelation today while working that the RO soundtrack's pretty good, so we'll just do that. Yeah, that's good. Although I need to turn it down a little bit on my end because it's nice, but whew, it's loud. All right, and yeah, we might as well shuffle it just to keep it interesting. Okay, so now we can move that out of the way. That's all going well. So we do have a... Oh! What are you doing up there, little buddy? Just kind of jumping off into the wilderness. Well, wow, yours is very energetic. Oh, they're stealing each other's actions. Ah, interesting. Okay, well, let's look into that. Yeah, yours is going to Valhalla, apparently. Okay, so let's look this over and see why those things would be happening. Wasn't initially what I was planning to fix first, but we gotta fix it because clearly the cats are going higher and higher with every step. So why would that be? Clearly. I love that the other two are just watching, like, what the hell is this cat doing? So, start position is their current position. End position is either to the left or right. Oh. Okay. I know what happened here. So, I'm timesing the entire vector right now by a value between 0 and 1, so it's slowly climbing up because there are more numbers above 0 than 0, and so even though sometimes it's a very small increment, it adds up. Okay, so that is actually supposed to be... Oh, well, no, I mean, that actually, because it's vector 3 left and right, which means it would be variance on 1. So hold on, this actually isn't what's happening. I thought that was at first. Is the cat jumping? No, it doesn't seem to be. Yeah, I wonder what happens if I talk. Testing. Does that steal it back from you? No, I just don't get to say anything. Okay, well, dang. All right, so I know why that's happening, so maybe I'll fix that first. So that's happening because of in the queue system, and this is what happens when you test things by yourself, is it doesn't necessarily work when you have multiple people. So right now we're passing through actions from a single source, which means everything's sharing that same source. What needs to happen is create instance of this. Is that not correct? Let's see here. Hold on. Well, let's back up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know why. Let's see here what I can do. Software. There you go. Okay. It should update now at some point. So I don't want to instantiate. Create instance, scriptable object. Oh, interesting. I wonder how your text is overlapping, but I will solve that problem when I get there. Not a big deal. I didn't. Oh, there we are. Yeah, well, we'll see. Okay, so this should fix it. Although I swear it's going to complain to me that you shouldn't be instantiating scriptable objects. Only time will tell, I suppose. So I think I can connect to both at the same time. All right. Testing. Okay, so there's mine. Can you say something with yours? Okay, let's see. No. Ah, they're overlapping on the text boxes. Okay, so that is still, though, both of us are moving, I think. Are you still moving? No, it's just me. So I'm still stealing it. Interesting. So let's see here. Why would it be stealing it? Because this should be a new instance of it each time. All right, let's do the thinky. I love that that cat's just running up the screen still. So this is correct. That should be correct. Perhaps what I actually need to do with actions is make them classes inside of scriptable objects and then make them artifacts, basically, and then just copy the action itself and pass it through. But for now, let's not do that. Let's see if we can figure this out. so we've got a few things we need to fix. The first is I'm a little surprised that they're grabbing the same speech bubble. So we will active on return, possibly because we're both talking at roughly the same time. We'll see. So we'll start from the beginning. This is us dequeuing. That should not be an underscore. And then when an action is queued, but the speech bubble is handled by this, which, yes, this is just queuing the same action. So we would want to, when it comes through here, we want to make sure right here that we instantiate it. So that's actually where we'll do it instead of everywhere else. And then we can come back over to the think, and we'll just make it the action again. And so when it goes into queue action, it will instantiate a new one and queue that. So let's save that. Is your cat going to make it off the screen before I get this all figured out? Remains to be seen. It's like a... Yeah, it's a bit of a race. I'm trying to solve the problem before the cat leaves the screen. At least it's not running off the left or the right side. All right, so it's all connected. Testing. Okay, so there's mine. So then if I say something really long and then you reply in the middle, do things go sideways? Yeah, now I need you to send a message. Will she get there in time? Probably, actually. The cats are talking quite slow. Ooh, maybe not. Too slow. Probably looking at some sweet, sweet pins. Okay, so while I'm waiting on that, let's look at the walking. So the cat takes their position. They are trying to go left or right from that position. Oh, yeah, yours was so short that I don't know if it worked. Huh. Okay. So you did steal my word bubble, but the good news there is I think I know why. So the speech bubbles are grabbed by the pooling system, and what's happening is mine is active, but for some reason the pool sees it as inactive. So it should find the first one. So I guess I just need to stop checking if they're pooled by looking at their active status and instead have a Boolean for whether or not they're pooled, and then do it that way. Because let's see. You get the box, and then it goes down to here. It doesn't get set active yet, but then it gets set active once it moves. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. You try to get clever sometimes, and it just doesn't work out. Public, bool, pooled. Simple Boolean flag for knowing if an object is pooled or not. Public, also a simple pooling function. Public void pool, pooled. Actually, that won't work because pooled is a property with just a getter. Oh wait, it doesn't have to be. There you go.
My brain will catch up.
Sets the object's pooled status to true. That should be sufficient. So then we can go over to the speech bubble, which I believe is its own game object thing. Oh, I'm in the generator. No wonder I was getting confused for a moment there. Pooled. Oh, what? Oh, that's visual scripting. I was getting very confused why there were two interfaces with the same basic information. Whether or not this object is pooled. And then pool. Yeah. Sure. Apparently that's not going to work because it would want me to cast itself in order to get to this. So just do that. Your little friend has left. Yep. We'll see if I'm still goofing. You may be able to see it one more time. Pooled equals true. Game object dot set active equals false. And then public. Sets pooled to true and hides this speech bubble. And then we can go over to the pooler. And we'll say pool type needs to be iPoolable. Oh, wrong one. Although I gotta admit, that's actually a much better name. Maybe I'll steal it. Rename iPoolable. Not a real word, too bad. It is now. Get rid of this line, get rid of that line. And we'll say return, go find an object from the pool that is not pooled. If you don't find one, instantiate one and then return it. Pooled equals false by default. That's fine. And this should work as is. So now, in theory, it shouldn't steal mine when we talk. Nope, that's a cat. Hello, cat. How are you doing today? Question mark. Okay, so you did steal mine. Why would it do that? Well, I go back and look at my code. Find the first object that isn't pooled. Oh, sorry. I'm an idiot. That is pooled. It's no longer a not because we changed how it works. All right, let's try this one more time. Let's try this again. How does this do? Well, there's two bubbles. So there's two bubbles. That's the weird part. But they both have... Wait, do they? Hold on. This one has your warg. Okay. So what happened is both bubbles moved to the same location? Okay, both bubbles moved. So there are two bubbles, but both bubbles moved to the same location. So let's go figure out why that would happen. Oh, it's the tracking. It's the tracking. The set target. So right, yes. Okay, I get exactly what's going on now. So in fact, my previous solution probably did work, and it was just stacking two bubbles. It wasn't that it was stealing it. Which would explain why you could see the text for both at the same time, because that doesn't make sense if it was stealing it. You would just have the text change. So the scheme for positioning for each of these bubbles is shared currently. So the last one in is so they're setting target, right? They're setting target on the scheme, which doesn't work because since the scheme is shared, then the target changes. So at first the target's you, and then when I talk, the target becomes me, and now both of them are sending it to mine. So what I actually need to do is I think I need to send target through the speech bubble position and not store it here. Alternatively, on a speech bubble, this could be thought of as a prefab, and we could say, we'll give this a shot real quick. We'll just call it that for now. And we're gonna say that is that. Scheme equals set target. Oh, is the target only in the Moosecat one? No. Oh, okay, yeah. We're good. And that's coming from target. So yeah, in theory, if we just instantiate it, then it's fine. So if position helper equals null, position helper equals this. Whoops. Instantiate that. And then position helper dot set target, maybe. Let's see, what am I forgetting here? Oh, we should just make this what it's actually supposed to be. Oh, this is the base speech bubble logic. So the reason I didn't have it doing Moosecat specifically is so that it could be used for other things. But we've already noticed a flaw in the solution that it doesn't work for multiple things at once. So if I had two characters talking at the same time, obviously that wouldn't work. So let's fix that. Pooled is fine. The pooler is fine. Well, if I was already doing this in the first place, then it isn't a foundational thing. And with that in mind, I don't think I even need to do that. Instantiate this. Target, set target. What is set target part of? Set target is at the abstract base level. Oh, but it's of type T input. Does it need to be of type T input, or would it just be, because this is a scheme for speech position, so I think target would always be a transform. I'm almost certain. And with that in mind, we could actually move these. We can move all of this into the base. Completely get rid of this. Because every object in the scene that we're going to be basing our text boxes against always has a transform. It has to in order to be a game object. Okay. So then we just take this and do that. And that's all good. Come over here. Okay, so that should cause them to not break. And then the text boxes will just use the one they instantiate for the rest of the time that they're active in the project. Testing 1, 2, 3, applesauce, you and me, something, something, Manila. Oh, we do have a no reference error because I changed some values there. Okay, that's fine. The reason it broke is because on the speech bubble, actually, no, I'm, yeah, it is nice looking. Oh, yeah, I'm an idiot. That's supposed to be equals equals. Okay. Whoops, I was literally setting it to null. All right. Okay, so it doesn't have a reference to target. Let's figure out why. Because we're setting it right here. And target is set by target, which is set by this. So the target literally gets set here before it's set to true. And then we would say active. Come back over here. If scheme, I see what's going on here. Whoops. We have to update this to that because we now have a new object that we're referencing against. It's good to be figuring out these issues now because then when I go to do more solutions in this style, I won't have the same problems. Okay, so he spawns now and he doesn't error. Biddie hoppity, splorpity blorpity, and then if you can send a message, should be sufficient. Oh no. That's fine. We'll work on the walking while I wait. Let's see here. Oh, there she is. Okay, hold on. Did it take yours? No, I think it just used it after it went away for you. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so Okay, so it does look like it took yours, but they're not overlapping. So why would it take yours? Well, it's no longer a speech problem because it's literally taking the actual bubble. So it goes into the pool, and it looks for one that is pooled. Ah, I'm not setting is pooled to false once it pulls it out. There we go. That's a whoopsie doodle. So once it went away the first time, it was set to pooled and never unset. Okay. Let's drop a little lorem ipsum in there. Okay, it's working now. Cool. Okay, so that takes care of that. Oh, thank you. You'll notice yours is walking around while mine is talking, so those aren't conflicting. Now we need to figure out why your cat likes to walk off to space. But first, before we do that, right now when an action gets DQ'd, it's just left in memory. So over time, this would have a memory leak. So I need to, I need to pool actions later. I won't worry about it for now because it's going to be stuck in my head. I'll remember, but. So we're going to rename this to scheme speech SO positioning SO. And we don't need to do that. And then we can just call this speech position. This scheme we instantiate from this so as to not crosstalk between objects. This is our instantiated copy of the SO above. And so what we say here is if we have yet to make a copy of the scheme for this particular speech bubble, then we will create one and assign it. And then we will set the target to the cat that is being passed through, in this, or the object, in this case a cat. And then we set the speech bubble to on, which we're not doing with cats right now. So the very first cat that's generated is actually like near the center of the screen. And then a frame later, they teleport to where they need to be. So I'll be fixing that later. I'm not worried about it for now since we have... Actually, do you notice something? Oh, it went away. I was trying to figure out if your cat was still going up. But that's something we can fix regardless. I'm going to make a new build for the stream. Give that a moment. Yeah. Living the dream. Alrighty. Oh, I don't see a text box or a bubble on you. Didn't we just... Oh. I know why. I literally just renamed a field. Where? Gotta remember now where that field would have been. Was it here? No. Let's just look where we just edited code. Oh, speech bubble, speech bubble. Okay. Look at that, null field. Go figure. Okay. Let's save. Try that again. Well, you could just close the one that's already running, you numpty. He was like, hey, there's one already built and running. It's like, I don't care, do it. It's that whole thing in WoW where it's like, you can't do this, you're mounted. It's like, just then dismount me. It took as much time to make the code to send me that message that it would have to dismount my character. It's like one of the things that at work recently where it prints out the folder directory for something so that people can copy and paste it to go to that directory. I was like, why would you do that? Literally, there is a function that opens up a directory for you. You could just paste that string into that function and it would just open up for them immediately. There we go. Okay. So so the next thing we're going to be looking for, I think one of the reasons our cats were going up at different levels is the cat would be, here's my theory, but I'll probably get proven wrong as these things slowly go up, is one of the cats would be jumping, right? So its position would be, and when I say it was jumping, I mean its coroutine was going. So it would go from 0 to like, let's say 0.2. And then your cat would take that cat's position and jump from there from 0.2 over to 0.2. And then in the middle of the jump again, it would be some small value above 0. And it just kept basically stealing height, living its best life. Cool. Okay, so I think we've solved those issues. That's nice. So let me submit this to my version control. Fixed crosstalk between actions. Cats can now talk together rather than only one ever. All kitties have the conch. What else? Pooler updated to actually use a flag to know if something is pooled or not. Kinda sad, but at least it's more nimble. Updated prefabs accordingly. Okay, Neato Bandito. So that does mean the system works, which is good. I hadn't got to test it yet at scale, quote unquote. So the next thing that we're missing that we probably should make now is an action pool so that when an action is used, similar to talking bubbles, it would check to see if one's already been created, reuse that, and if not, it would make another one. That way, the number of actions in my in memory is only as large as it ever needs to be. It's never bigger than that. And we're not constantly creating and destroying scriptable objects. So you're not constantly allocating memory and then releasing it back to the computer. We steal that memory, we keep it forever. Okay, so walking, as far as my eye can tell, looks good now. I love how colorful they are. I don't have that data saving to their character, so they're going to look different every time they spawn, but... Okay, and this is good. This is good. It's all fine. This is good and way more convenient to use now. I don't even know why I didn't do it that way in the first place, because you have to have a transform to be a legal game object in Unity. So I was probably just tired that day. And speech looks fine. They do talk a bit slower than I think they probably should, in part because I set it up to be read at 100 words a minute, but the average person can actually read like 200 to 500 or something like that. But it's one of those things that scales a little bit weird, because if the message is only like one word, that can actually feel like it goes by really quick, even if you're seeing it for the same amount of time that you're seeing like 2 pages of 4 words each. So, and by that I mean the amount of time for any individual word that your brain had time to process is the same. Not that I'm showing one for 1 second and the other for 1 second, because obviously the 4 words in 1 second would be 4 times less than the other. But I digress. That's fine. I'm sure that the DB stuff is intense, so we're both coding in our own ways. So next thing I want to fix is the issue I mentioned about. Oh, I did not spell that right. Oh man. Scheme speech. Next thing I want to fix is the cat spawning in the center of the screen before it fixes its position, because we don't want that. And while we're here, let's fix the speech bubble, because I think there's a rounded box in Unity by default, and I could just use that for now. And then move the little tongue later. I could have sworn I had a version of this where the tongue thing was separated, but that may have been a fever dream. Well, let's see here. Show and explore. Do a little bit of cosmetic surgery on this real quick. Show and explore. Drag and drop. What a magical thing. Okay. Like that. It's not quite elegant. I think it's actually like down about there. And then we go like this. Copy. And we grab that layer. Gotta say, staring at a bright white box like this is quite intense. Whoop. Is it control? Yes. There we go. And then I go back, zoom back out. Export, quick export as a pung. Talk bubble, redux. Close this out. We won't save it because we live on the edge of our seat here. There we go. Now we have, I mean, admittedly, we could have made the image smaller. But you know what? Yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Image. You can go like that, thereabouts. Crop it. Save it. And then now it's about the same size as it visually looks. There we go. So it'll be a little less weird when the kitty cats talk because they're not going to have the little thing pointing off you wherever. Herp. Oh, was I not connected over here? Apparently not. Let's try that again. Borp. I guess that's going to be botpa. Yeah, that looks better. It could probably use to be a bit bigger. And then yeah. Okay. That was the oh. Kind of forgot I have a on destroy for the actions, which does mean they are getting destroyed, so they are being removed from memory once nothing is. Oh yeah, that is how garbage collection works in that scenario, because I'm setting it to null and nothing's referencing it. Okay, sure, you know what, we'll just go with that for now. Not like I'm giving this to anybody else for now. Let's see real quick roughly how big that looks. Lookity-loo. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay. So, stop that. And then I will commit that work. And then the last thing I want to fix for the stream today is the generator for Moosecats. So we can close out the speech bubble. And we'll go up to... it's actually a good question. Where did I put... Did I put it in here? I did. Oh, right. Because part of that was the position, which maybe is not correct. So right now, the Moosecats are not actually being pulled from a pool. And that makes sense because you wouldn't reuse them in this case. It would just be I mean, you could do it, I guess, but for now, I'm not going to. I suspect the rate that they would be spawning and despawning would be pretty low, because even if like 100 people joined and then all left, and then after X time they went to sleep and shut off, that's still like nothing. You would need enough people that I would be happy to fix the problem. So I won't worry about it. But what we do want to do, so it's being instantiated here. It's being placed roughly somewhere random on the screen. What I want to do is I'm going to actually disable it. Set active to false. And then we'll go in where it's being spawned, which is in the active Moosecat handler, I believe. Yes, so it gets spawned and then it's right here. It gets all of its information done. And then it moves. So my question is it strictly the walking that gets it moved down there? Because I don't quite remember. Doesn't look like it would be. So we're going to want to look for transform.position. Just in the project, please. Well, let's see if that's sufficient. And if not, I can fix the position there. Oops. Okay, so yeah, now it just ends up in the center of the screen, and then it's going to walk back and forth on the center of the screen. Awesome. Okay. That is what I was expecting, so that makes me feel better. So we need to pause, move it down. Oh, is that what that value was for? Hold on. Generator Moosecat. Still want that line. Yeah. So that would move it. Yes, so I think what it is that we're just seeing a single frame of it in the wrong location. So this should hide that. Blinky. There we go. Just immediately spawns in the right location. And then you can start walking around. Yep. Awesome. Cats. Cats now no longer blink from their instantiation point to the correct location. And another way we could have fixed that is when we instantiated it, we could have actually set the position there. Okay. Which would have been this. And then Saturnian.identity, I believe. So if you did that, I don't even think you would need to do the false and true thing. Where did my window go? Right there. Okay. Did we reconnect yet? Not yet. Thinky, thinky, blinky, stinky. Yeah. Okay. So we can just do that. At least until we are pulling from a pool, in which case we'll still need to... Oh, wait, we're not. We're not for cats. Right. We already established that. Okay, so we can save that, go over to our handler, remove that line. So I think now everything is working the way I wanted it to in the first place. So we cleaned up a lot of little whoopsie doodles. And then the next thing I need to take care of is the action queuing, so that when an action leaves the queue, it gets added to a pool, and then it can be used again by another cat, or the same cat, really, whoever. Because when the actions come in, they pass the cat through anyways, so should be fine. And that will keep our uses to a minimum. So next time that we stream, I want to hook back in the emoji support that we had from the previous instance, and that should be pretty easy. And part of what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to have it save all of the emoji URLs that get sent in, so that I can occasionally download them and have a literal local database, which will keep down the number of internet calls that need to be made, which will be cool. Plus, it gives me a neat collection of emojis that I can do silly stuff with. So, alrighty, that's all I got for today. Wanted to do just a nice, quick thing. Didn't expect it to be all bug fixing, but it actually ended up working out and being fairly entertaining. So, that's good. Maybe we'll do this again tomorrow. We'll see. It's been a little while since I've been doing streams, so kind of nice to get back into it. All that. Now I'm going to click the button. No, actually, I missed the button, but now